Okay, so today I wanted to show you what you can do with excess veggies. So you have your garden, and let's start with the tomatoes. You want to can salsa or tomato sauce or whatever. This is one of your harvests. Now, these are not going to be good whenever the rest of your tomatoes are good. So, an easy thing to do is wash them like I have, throw them in a freezer safe baggie, and pop them in there. Do not cut them, do not peel them, just throw them in your bag and then put them in the freezer. And whenever you go to thaw them out, these skins will just melt away. So that being said, you have now eased the process of blanching and all that other garb because you just froze them, and they'll stay good. I did it last year. So again, all you gotta do, wash them, throw them in a bag, and put them in the freezer. And then when you thaw them out to use them, once you have enough to do a canning session, once they thaw, the peels just melt away. So that is the tomatoes, and I will be doing that with these because I haven't decided. If I get another batch like this, I'll probably can up some tomato soup, and I'll bring you along for that so that I have it on the shelf. And then if I get another good batch, I'll can it up as just crushed tomatoes. That is pretty much my favorite. So next, squash and zucchini. You technically now they're saying that you cannot can squash and zucchini. Something about a density issue. Now you can can soup. I don't see a problem in canning soup. It's just, I don't know. I read where they don't want you canning actual just squash and zucchini, but that's fine because there's plenty of other things that we can do with it. Of course you can eat it, but I've been eating on a lot of this lately, so you can freeze it. Now with this, like the zucchini, I can make zucchini bread, muffins, soup, whatever. So I will shred some of it and then put it in a bag and freeze it, and then I'll chunk some of it, just dice it up real good, and then freeze it that way so that I have different ways that I can use it. And I'll do the same exact thing with the squash because when you thaw it out, it'll still, the dice will still make wonderful squash soup. It'll make squash casserole. You can shred it and freeze it like the zucchini and make squash muffins and squash biscuits. And I will definitely bring you along for those recipes because they are amazing. And it's a nice way to sneak in some vegetables without your family knowing, because if you have a family like mine, you're trying to be all healthy and blah blah blah, and your family's like, give me a cheeseburger. So this is a good way to get all those veggies in, and then they don't even know it, and so then you can feel good about yourself, pat yourself on the back. And yeah, also real quick, I have these. They are going to go in some dilly beans, and I'll bring you along for that recipe too. I have some I'll actually show you. I have some green beans that I have washed and just took the stems off, and I kept them whole because I'm going to make dilly beans out of them with the next batch that I get out of the garden. This isn't big enough to do but maybe one pint jar, and I want to have at least 3 or 4. So I'm going to keep this in my fridge. It'll stay good. I have all the air out of it, and I'll be making dilly beans, spicy and regular, with that. So you'll definitely get to come along for all these wonderful recipes, and this will also count as my garden update because well, this is my garden. So there's nothing to show except a bunch of green tomatoes and 2 baby eggplants that are finally growing, and then a bunch of cucumbers. Little baby cucumbers are about like that. So I hope that you enjoy this. I hope it inspires you to grow your own food, or to not waste and put your food back in different ways other than canning, especially if you're one of those people that are afraid to can. These are other ways that you can preserve food for the winter or later down the road as you wish. And I hope to see you guys next time for another delicious recipe or canning session or DIY. Thanks for watching.